November the 14th, 2024. Guys, it is 4:40 p.m. Central Time here in Central Mississippi, and it's a beautiful day. Clear blue sky, sun setting off in the west. You can see it putting that orange glow into the trees. 63 degrees. Can you believe it? I could put up with this weather forever as long as we had enough rain for the things we needed, but we know things change. Anyway, a couple of days ago, I did a video showing the jets taking off from the Abraham Lincoln, the aircraft carrier. And it was mentioned in the video that also 2 destroyers were attacked, and people in the comments were saying that they don't travel alone. And so we saw that. Now, we haven't had much information about that, and the U.S. hasn't reported anything about it except the CENTCOM video that we saw with the jets. And I guess that was a reply to the attack. The Houthis said someone had warned them that there was about to be a preemptive strike, probably from the U.S. and Israel. And so they attacked early, according to their information, in order to thwart that attack. Best defense is a good offense. Now, Israel attacks on Syria have become daily. Now think about this. Why is the U.S. so concerned into getting into it now? We know there's about to be a major change in the Pentagon, the Secretary of the Defense, all of that, all the way down the line. Matt Gaetz is the U.S. Attorney General. He's a bulldog. And let me say this. Everyone got tired of watching him and Jim Jordan and that group because they were barking dogs with no teeth for too long. And I think not only has our president learned the lesson of the deep state, but I think a lot of people there have. We do have some rhinos I'm very concerned about. The one they put in charge of it today is pitiful. He's a Trump hater. He's a warmonger. And he does not need to be in there. A couple of other ones don't, but the ones that he's putting in place, I'm really excited to see the changes coming in with, especially in our military. Our military people have been mistreated, forced to take vaccinations or get out. Just when they get back, veterans are treated like crap, and they know something's coming. They know they're about to get out, and just like any evil demoncrat would do, they would burn the nation down before they were stopped from destroying it. So what would they accomplish by continuing these attacks in the Middle East? They would bring about World War III, and then you could have military law put in place, and the elections would not, or the inaugurations would not happen until that was over with. And this is that plan. I'm just telling you. The U.S. has stabbed Israel in the back too many times. We've seen it. Israel would be ready to attack, and somehow they would get a leak from the Pentagon over to Iran, and they would pass it over and around that the attack was coming. Is that what just happened? So, they say they're on Israel's side. I'm on the U.S. side. I think we need to take care of home and let Israel take care of Israel. That's just me. Because we have a bigger problem here with our borders than Israel does. And it's about to get out of hand. And they're talking about something else, guys. And we're going to go on with this article in a moment. But I don't know if it was Tom Homan, who's going to now be the head of ICE. He's going to be the head of the Border Patrol and all of that. He's going to be the top dog, like Mayorkas, the traitor that needs to be whatever they do to traitors. That was what needs to happen to him for what he's done. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. And again, that goes to this deep state desperation of what we're seeing now. It's going to be interesting, but a lot of people are saying they feel the same thing, that there's so much coming against the demons now. They've been exposed that you get a rat trapped in the corner, you can get bit. So we got to watch that. It says again, Israel's attack on Syria have become daily, and now the U.S. is ramping up its own attacks in the northeast of the country as well. What are they saying today in the U.S. on the conservative side? And it may have been Tom Homan, but he did say that, and the question was asked to him, as a matter of fact, what can Trump bring the military in on the border? Because all the reports that I've seen and everyone else has seen is the cartels have basically taken over the border. So if in the United States Constitution, the president has the right to bring not just the National Guard in, but the U.S. military on a threat like that. And that's what Trump and them are, I think, are planning. They're going to bring the military in and take the cartels out with the fentanyl and all the child trafficking and human trafficking and all of that. So we're going to see an uptick in that. It's not going to take much. The cartels are big and bad till they've got people like Trump is putting in charge of the military now. Pete Hedgepeth is one of them, ex-military. He's going to do a great job. We're about to get a lot of demons out, but they're not going to go down without a fight. On Thursday, Israeli warplanes launched attacks on 2 residential buildings in the Damascus suburbs, one in Massa and the other in Qusayr, which lies west of the capital. Regional reports said that many people were killed, and Syrian state Sana posted photos of bombed-out apartments. Guys, it looks like they're going to try to create a barrier to the north where you don't have the border or the enemy, in their eyes, right on the border. You kind of got this no-fly zone type situation, kind of a UN type deal. It may end up like that. Israeli Army radio, in a rare acknowledgement, appeared to confirm the Israeli attack while claiming the fresh attacks targeted the Syrian headquarters and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad group, the PIJ, which is fighting alongside Hamas in Gaza and has held Israeli citizens captive since October 7, 2023. Now, before I continue, let me say this. Also, Matt Gaetz coming in as the U.S. Attorney General. We talked about that. A lot of people are saying that you got a couple of rhinos today that were in that vote that got Thun put at the head of it. He's a Trump hater, warmonger, big-time military-industrial complex guy. He does not need to be in charge. But they were talking about, would they vote Matt Gaetz in? And what it led to was what's called recess appointments. In other words, the president has, according to amendments, or according to the U.S. Constitution, the right in a recess to appoint anybody he wants to. Now, that will have to be revoted, I think, maybe once that cycle ends. It may not be a permanent 4-year deal, but once he's in, I think he's in, and that's what they're going to do. They're not going to play around with these demons anymore. They don't need to. If they can't do it with the executive order, then they're talking about appointing people during what's called this recess time. They're thinking ahead. They learned the lesson. Hope they go through with it. Al Jazeera reports on the rising death toll as emergency crews comb through the rubble. At least 15 people have been killed, 16 injured in Israeli attacks on suburbs of the Syrian capital, according to Syrian military sources cited by the Sana news agency. It always reminds me, especially with the sentence, Damascus will be in ruins. We have reported earlier that one building was hit in the suburb of Massa, the other in Qusayr, west of Damascus. Israel has launched multiple airstrikes on Syria last week as well, and in the past week has even struck coastal targets near Tartus and Latakia, an area where Russian military forces are present. So right now, we got a situation where Trump is saying he can bring peace like he had before in the last 4 years. And so you've got not only the U.S. warmongers, but the Palestinian forces with Bibi are thinking Trump's probably right that he's going to bring it to an end pretty quick. So they need to take as much buffer zone as they can before January the 21st. You see what I'm saying? U.S. Central Command announced that its forces launched strikes in Syria for a second day on Tuesday against Iranian-aligned targets, referring to the Shia militias that operate in the country. Now, today's Thursday. CENTCOM said in a press release that its forces conducted strikes against an Iranian-backed militia group's weapons storage and logistics headquarters facility. It said that the strikes came after a rocket attack on U.S. personnel at patrol base Shaddada, referring to the U.S. occupation base in eastern Syria. Before I forget, Russia's also in the same situation, guys. Trump's talking about trying to calm the deal down between, I'd hate to say Ukraine because they're just a proxy location. They've been over, that fight with Ukraine was over a long time ago, but we're talking about all the other countries that are taking advantage in the bloodshed of the people there to try to push their agendas. So the capital of Ukraine, Kiev, guys, got massacred in missiles just in the last day. I'm talking about striking very important centers, military sections, and communications inside the capital. They know their time is limited too. And I'm sure they probably get a wink and a nod because many people in the U.S. realize that Ukraine was a proxy for attacking Russia and having multiple bioweapon labs and many other things. Remember Joe Biden's 10%? And that deal where he got someone fired because they were investigating his son, all of that's about to come to light. And I'm hearing that the Diddy report is getting pretty deep, and that's got something to do with the panic of Matt Gaetz being the U.S. Attorney General. Because he's talked about this, and again, they've been barking dogs with no teeth. I think now they're about to grow big fangs. I see that coming, guys. Says one war monitor said that at least 5 members of the Iran-aligned militia were killed in the U.S. strikes. These locations, which come under U.S. attack, often include Syrian national militias or even Syrian army personnel. 4 other militants were killed in the day prior, Monday, when CENTCOM said it hit 9 targets in 2 locations associated with Iranian groups in Syria. Still nothing from CENTCOM except the video of the jets about the strike between them and the Houthis. The week kicked off with a regional report of explosions at U.S. bases, likely the results of missiles or mortars being used to attack U.S. troops. Such attacks by militias in the area have been somewhat a regular occurrence, but these instances don't always make headlines in the West. That's what I'm talking about. All of this is part of the broader proxy war, I agree, between the pro-Iran resistance axis and the U.S.-Israel Gulf powers, and they might as well go ahead and throw Ukraine in. Currently, there's still 1,000 more U.S. troops occupying eastern Syria, but I think it was the comedian that told us there are currently no U.S. troops involved in any conflict anywhere on the planet. And I remember the reply from troops around the world in all the different conflict areas burning Twitter down with her. It says, the longer the Pentagon stays, the more the U.S. troops are put in harm's way. Amen to that. For little strategic purpose other than securing the oil, as Trump has said before. That's what I'm saying. Why are they there? They're not securing anything but World War III. But the Syrian Kurds could soon make their own peace deal with Damascus, making it easier to force out the American presence. Turkey has also long waited to see the U.S. go. Can you blame them? War after war after war, millions of citizens killed. All of that's about to come to an end if we can make it to January the 20th. But guys, we're watching this. Started out as a quick update, but I had to get off track just a little bit. Never take your eyes off the Democrats. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.